Hello everyone, welcome to New Wave Coaching Classes for Mathematics. This is your host Jatin. Today we are going to proceed with the exercise 5.2. The remaining questions are exercise 5.2 which we left in the first exercise, right? So let's start with the 11th question of the exercise. If you see in the 11th question, what is given to us is given which term of the AP will be 132 more than 54th term. Now what they ask, see, first thing we write what is the AP given to us. The AP given to us is 3, 15, 27, 39 and so on. Now what they are asking the term. They are asking which term is 132 more than the 54th term. So this is the 54th term. So this is the way we will write actually. Right? Understand it once again. What they are asking which term of the AP is 132 more than the 54th term. So our first step would be to find the 54th term. And for that, we find the first term, that is from the AP we can find the first term is 3. And then we can find the D. D is 15 minus 3 equals to 12. Right? Now what next? Now 54th term, A54, we can write directly for the A54 as A plus 53D. Right? Then we put the values and we get A54 as 639. Right? Now what is the next step? The next step is to find the term which is 132 more than this. Right? See, if we keep on writing the AP, somewhere this term will come and this term will be the 54th term. Then if we proceed further, then there will be a term in this AP whose difference with the 54th term would be 132. It means that term would be 132 more than this term. Right? And that term is basically 771. Right? Now, this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth. If I keep on proceeding, 639 would be my 54th term. It will come at 54 number. Now, what I have to find, if I keep proceeding, at what place this 771 comes? It means what I have to find n for this, right? So what I do, now I have got an equal to 771, so I can write the formula of an, right, like this, a plus n minus 1 into d equal to 771. Now substitute the values. This is 3 plus n minus 1 into 12 equal to 771. Subtract 3 on the other side, we get n minus 1 into 12 equal to 771 minus 3. This is n minus 1 into 12 equal to 768. Right? You can also do this way, that you can multiply 12 inside and then you can simplify. What I am doing, I will just divide this 12 on the right side. So this is n minus 1 equal to 768 upon 12. So after dividing, what I get? I write therefore n minus 1 equals to, this will come as 64. So therefore n will be equal to 65. It means this 771 will be coming at the 65th number of the AP if we continue to write the AP, right? Now let's take the 12th question. 12th question quite simple. It's given two APs have the same common difference. So the APs are going parallel with the same common difference, and the difference between their 100th term is 100. So since the APs are parallel, the difference between their 100th term is 100. So the difference between their any parallel terms would be same. It means that will be 100. So they are asking what is the difference between their 1000 terms. So it's a very simple question. I'm not going deep in that. I just tell you. If suppose I have two APs, so I write suppose this is the 100th term of one AP and this is the 100th term of the other AP. Right? So the difference here is given as 100. Now the two APs have the same common difference, right? So for this, suppose that the first term is A, I can write this as A plus 99D, and for this I write A plus See, since the APs are different, so I have taken the first term different. But the common difference is given same, so I have taken the same symbol on the same for the both, right? Now when I open, what I get something like this. So I cancel out this, I get A minus A, that is the difference of the first term is also 100. The difference of the first term is also 100, the difference of the 100th term is also 100, and if I have to find the difference of the 1000th term, this thing. So I can write this as A plus 999D minus A plus 999D. So when I open and cancel out, I am left with this thing, and this A minus A is 100. So the difference will remain same, there will be no change, right? So let's take another question. Now if you see the 13th question, it's given how many 3-digit numbers are divisible by 7. 3-digit number divisible by 7. So the first step would be to form the AP. And how we can form the AP? I have to find the first number, first 3-digit number which is divisible by 7. So you can say 100, no, 101, 102, 103, 104. And when you reach 105, you see 105 is divisible by 7. So for the 13th question, my AP would be 105. And obviously, since 105 is divisible by 7, the next number that will be coming in the series, in the sequence would be 7 more than this. That means it will be 115, then 119, and so on. Now I have to find total number of 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 7. It means I should also have the last 3-digit number which is divisible by 7. So for that, what we can do, we can proceed from the back. You can take 999, that is the greatest 3-digit number, it is not divisible by 7. Then you take 998, 997, 996, 995, and when you reach 994, you see it is divisible by 7. So 994, you can find it by dividing the number by 7. So when you reach this 994, you see this is divisible by 7. Now what I have in this question, I have the first term, I have the common difference. Obviously the common difference would be 7 because we are finding the numbers which are divisible by 7. So D7 and AN, this is my last 3-digit number which is divisible by 7. This is the last 3-digit number which is divisible by 7. So now what I have to find? I have to find at what number this comes. It means I have to find N. N will be, that is the total number of 3-digit numbers that are divisible by 7. So I have to find N. It's quite simple. So you can write this AN equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. So this is 994 equal to 105 plus N minus 1 into 7. Right, and if you proceed further, this is 994 minus 105 equal to N minus 1 into 7. After subtracting, what do you get? This is 8, 8, 9 equal to N minus 1 into 7. You can divide the 7 on the left side. This is 8, 8, 9 divided by 7. Right? And then you can proceed further to find the value of N also in this question. I leave this thing for you to do it. Alright, if we see the next question, 14th question, how many 3-digit numbers, how many multiples of 4 lie between 10 and 250? The question is almost same, but the pattern is different. Earlier we had the number, we have to find the numbers which are divisible by 7. Now we are finding the multiples of 4. Divisible by 7 or multiples of 7, divisible by 4 or multiples of 4, the meaning is same. The first thing would be to write the AP. Right? To write the AP, what we require the first term, and the difference would be obviously that by the number which we are dividing or the number whose multiples we are finding, that will be the common difference, right? So first step would be to find the AP first term and the last term, that is important, right? So if you see in this question, the question number 14, what is given? Between 10 and 240, the numbers divisible by 4. So obviously the first number would be 12, and then 16, and you proceed, you get the last as 248. That is, before 250, the number which is divisible by 4 is 248. So here A would be 12, D would be 16, sorry, D would be 4, and AN is 248. So if you proceed this question in the same manner, here obviously the value of n is 128, and you proceed this question in the same way, you get the answer. So here again you apply this relation, A is equal to A plus 1 into n minus 1 into D. You substitute the values and you can find the answer. Now there can be more types of these questions. There can be a question find, say let's say 2-digit number. Is it divisible by? So see, I am adding two types, 3 or 5, and the second is 3 and 5. Now what is the difference in these two? The difference in these two is, if you see the first one, 3 or 5, so we need to find all the 2-digit numbers which are divisible by 3 also. First we find the numbers which are divisible by 3, and then we find the number of 2-digit numbers which are divisible by 5. Right? This is basically what they are asking in the first question. It means I have to find all those numbers which are divisible by 3 or 5. Like if I write the series for sequence for the number divisible by 3, I write 3, 6, 9, 12, and for 5 it will be 5, 10, 15, 20. But 5 will not come because we are talking about 2-digit number, so it will be 10, 15, 20, and same way for 3, we will start with 12. So 12, 15, 18, something like this. This is an OR, right? And when we talk about AND, 3 and 5, it means the particular number should be divisible by both 3 and 5. It means what I have to do, I have to find the LCM of 3 and 5, and that is 15. So I will have to find all those 2-digit numbers which are divisible by 15 only. It means the number should be divisible by 3 also and 5 also. Now one thing more, when you do this question, now how you proceed this question, first thing would be to find all the numbers which are divisible by 3. You find all the numbers divisible by 3. Then you add all the numbers divisible by 5. Now there will be some instances where we'll have some common numbers. Like if you talk about 15, 15 is divisible by both 3 also and 5 also. If you talk about 30, it's again divisible by 3 and 5. If you talk about 45, again these 45 is divisible by both 3 and 5. So what we'll have to do, see, when we find, see, 15 will be coming here also and here also. 30 is coming here also and here also. It means these numbers will be counted 2 times. So I will have to subtract these numbers, right? So in that case, when I do this part, the first part, I will do first thing this, then I will find all the numbers divisible by 5, then I will subtract all the numbers divisible by both 3 and 5. That is, I will subtract this thing from here, 3 and 5, right? So this is the way to proceed. This kind of question in which 2 numbers are given to you to find, right? Like in the previous question, we have only one. They have asked from one multiple or divisible by one number. In this question, they have asked divisible by 2 numbers, right? So don't get confused in this thing, right? Okay, now let's go to the next question. Question number 15. That's a very important question. Now it's given we have 2 APs now. One of the APs given as 63, 65, 67 and so on. And the other AP is given to me as something like this: 3, 10, 17 and so on. Now they say if we keep on writing the numbers in both the APs, what happens? There comes an instance when we have a common number. Like this is the first this is the second, this is the third, then fourth, fifth. At a particular instance, the parallel numbers are same at a particular n. Here, whatever they here it is coming, this same thing is coming here also, right? It means the nth term of both the APs is given as equal. So they are asking for what value of n? What should be the value of n? At what number that these numbers will come, right? Which term would be same for both the APs? So what we do, obviously the first step is to write the first term and the common difference for each AP, and then we find the nth term, right? Let's see how we do. Now I take the first one. For this, A is 63, D is 2, and obviously I don't know. So what I do, I write AN as AN equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. So I substitute the value. This is 63 plus n minus 1 into 2. So what I get here, after simplifying, I get AN equal to 63 plus 2n minus 2. This means AN is equal to 61 plus 2n. Now, this is the nth term of this AP. Same way, if we proceed, let's find the nth term for the second AP, right? Now, for the second AP, I write, since the AP is different, so I will be using the different symbols. If you write the same symbol, it means it is wrong. So, when the APs are different, they have different terms. So use the different symbols also, right? So for one I have taken small ABC, and for the other I can take in capital. So for this one, now I write the AP again here. Now for here I write as first term is 3 and I write capital D because the difference is different, common difference is different in this also, right? Now the common difference here would be, I write 10 minus 3 and that is 7. Now again, I don't know what is n because I have to find. Now for this, I write the nth term as AN equal to A plus n minus 1 into capital T. Now I just find the value. This is 3 plus n minus 1 into 7. So this is 3 plus 7n minus 7, which gets me as, I write it as AN equal to 7n minus 4. So this is, I write it at second here. Now what is the next thing? It is given the nth term is same. The nth term of both the APs is given to me as same. So what I will do, since these two are equal, what is given to me? Given the nth term of both APs is same. Therefore, AN is equal to AN. Right? Capital AN is equal to small an. I substitute the values. This is 7n minus 4 equals to 61 plus 2n. So, shifting and simplifying, this is 7n minus 2n equal to 61 plus 4, and this is 5n equal to 65. Therefore, n will be 13. It means if I keep on proceeding with both the APs, then whatever the 13th term comes here and whatever the 13th term comes here, it will be equal. And we can verify also, right? How we can verify? If I substitute the value of n as 13 in this one. So what I get, if I put n equal to 13 here, I get AN equal to 61 plus 2 into 13. So that is 61 plus 26. And this is 87. It means the 13th term of the first AP is 87. Let's find for this one also. If I put the value of 13 here, so this is AN equal to 7 into 13 minus 4. This is 91 minus 4 and this is 87. Here, so this is what we mean. So this is the way you can verify also your question, what you have done, if it is wrong or right. Right? So now let's take the next question, 16th question, quite simple. I'll just explain what is given in the 16th question. And then you can proceed it yourself. It's given the third term is 16. Third term is given as 16. As given, seventh term exceeds the fifth term by 12. I think there was a question, similar question in the earlier also. So it's given A7 minus A5 equals to 12. So now what you can do, using this relation you can find the common difference and then you substitute the value of B in this, you can find the first term. And then you can find the AP, the first term, second term, third term is obviously given, right? And let's see the 17th term, 17th question of this exercise now. Now, what is given in the 17th question? There's an AP given to us as 3, 8, 13, and so on till 253. Now, what I have to do? I have to find the 20th term of this AP from the back side. Right? What I have to do? I have to find the 20th term from the back side of this AP. That is, if we reverse the AP, if we reverse the counting, what will be the AP? Well, what will be the 20th term if I go from this side? Right? So, I write it as find the 20th term from last. Right? So, what we can do? See, suppose there are some students standing in a line. So I write these numbers. Right? So in this way the students are standing. I say, who is the fifth person from the last? Who is the fifth person from the last? So what you will think, this is 13 is the total, you subtract 5, it means 8. You will think this, but no, that's not the correct answer. What you will have to do? See, just start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means the fifth person from the last is this. What we have done, we started counting from the back side. Same way we can do in this question also. We can start counting from the back side. Right? For that, what we'll have to do? We will have to write the AP in the reverse form. So, what we can say now? We can say 20th term from last of the given AP is equal to 20th term from the last of the given AP is equal to 20th term from beginning 20th term from beginning on reversing the AP. So what we are doing, we are writing the AP in the reverse form. So on writing the AP in the reverse form, now reversing the AP. So we reverse the AP, it means this is 253. I don't know what will be the next term, so I will just simply write the terms which are given to me. Now you see what happened. Earlier the AP was in increasing form, now it is in decreasing form. Right? Earlier the numbers were increasing, now it is decreasing. The first term and the common difference have also changed when I have reversed the AP. Now earlier the first term was 3 and the common difference was 8 minus 3, that was 5. Now what we have? Now I have A equal to, that is the first term is 253. And the common difference, you must be thinking how to find the common difference. So you can subtract these two terms. Any two consecutive terms If you subtract any two consecutive terms, you will get what you will get the common difference. So we subtract these two. This is 8 minus 13. This is minus 5. Now what I have to do, I have to find the 20th term for this AP from the beginning. So I write, and I have n equals to 22. Oh sorry, n equal to 20. I find A20. So A20 equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. So now this is 253 plus n minus 1 into minus 5. I'll tell you one more way to find the answer, right? This is one of the way. So this is 253. Now n is 20. I write 20 here. So 20 minus 1 is 19, and 19 5s are 95. So this is 253 minus 95, and I get the value as 158. So if I proceed, right, if I write all the terms, this 158 will be the 20th term from the backside. Right, if you have to do it directly, you can also say the 20th term from the last. You can write it something like this way also. And A20 is equal to L minus n minus 1 into D. See, it's the same thing. Here L means last term. Here L means last term. But this is not exactly the 20th term. A20 here means 20th term from the beginning. So if we have to write from the back, I have to change the symbol also. But this thing means the same. So you see, this is A, I write L here, so L is the last term, 253. Why I have written minus? Because when we reverse the AP, the value of D changes. Initially it was positive, now it has become negative. If initially it was negative, if initially it had been negative, now then it would have become positive value, right? So that is the difference. Right? So this was about 17th question. Let's go to the 18th question. It's also quite simple. It's given the sum of the 4th and 8th term of an AP is 24. What is given to me? A4 plus A8 is equal to 24. The sum of the 4th and the 8th term of an AP is 24, and sum of 6th and 10th term A6 plus A10 is given to me as 44. What I have to do? I have to find the first 3 terms of the AP. I have to find the first 3 terms of an AP. So what we can do? We can just simply open these two, form an equation. Then we can open these two. We can form another equation. We can find the first term and the common difference of the two APs, and then we can write the first 3 terms. So quite simple question. I leave it to you for this, for the solution of this question. Let's go to the 19th question now. It's given a name of person, Subbarao, worked in 1995 at an annual salary of rupees 5,000 and received an increment of rupees 200 each year. In which year did the income reaches 7,000? So I have to find after how many years his income reaches 7,000, right? So now, this question can be, the solution of this question can be found by using AP. So how we can do it? See, the annual salary at 1985 is 5,000. So it means I take the initial salary. Obviously, when we talk about initial, we are talking about the first term. So I write initial salary as A equal to rupees 5,000. What next is given to me? The next thing which is given to me is the common difference. They say the annual increment. Annual increment basically means yearly, how much salary of the person is increasing. So annual increment, and D is equal to rupees 200. Now they are asking in which year the salary becomes 7,000. It means I have to find N, and AN is given to me 7,000. Now AN is rupees 7,000. right? So I will find n now. So it is simple. An equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. So therefore this is 7,000 equals to 5,000 plus n minus 1 into 200. Subtract these two. You take this side, this is 2000 equal to n minus 1 into 200, and then you divide 200, you get 10 equal to n minus 1. It means n is equal to 11 years. So after 11 years, the salary of Subbarao becomes 7,000, right? Alright, now let's take the last question of this exercise. It is given Ramkali saved rupees 5 in the first week and then increased her weekly savings by rupees 1.75. If in the nth week her weekly savings becomes rupees 20.75, find the value of n, right? So how we have to proceed in this question? Whatever is given in the first week, whatever the savings are in the first week, that will be our first term. Whatever is the increase in her savings per week, that is the common difference. And this is AN. AN is given to us as rupees 20.75. Now, what I find, after how many weeks this becomes? So I have to find N here. Same question, no difference. So you can just proceed. AN equal to A plus n minus 1 into t. So this is 20.75 equal to 5 plus n minus 1 into 1.75. So you can proceed it further yourself. It's quite simple thing. So subtract this 5 on this side and then divide by 1.75 and you can find the value of n. Right, dear friends, so this was all about exercise 5.2. In the coming lectures, we'll be discussing more about the AP. So this is from my side. I hope you have understood everything. If not, then watch the video again. Make sure to like my video and subscribe to my channel. This is your host, signing off. Goodbye and take care.